Hello everyone, welcome to the Education World. I am the biology faculty member at Education World, and today I will discuss on the concept of ozone layer, and it is a part of the chapter number 15 of class 10th ICSE biology. The title of the chapter is Pollution, a Rising Environmental Problem, and under the level of that particular chapter there is a topic on the ozone, and today I will discuss about that. The ozone layer, it is commonly recognized as Earth protection umbrella. In the last lecture which we have posted on the YouTube with the channel name Education World, I have mentioned the ozone layer is present in the stratosphere part of the atmosphere. You may also visit to that particular video which has been uploaded earlier, particularly on atmosphere and UV rays, for having the better understanding of the ozone. So this ozone layer is commonly called as Earth protection umbrella, as it is capable of absorbing the harmful UV radiations which are basically projected from the sun. So before we get into the ozone layer, we have to refresh our knowledge about the ozone gas, which is the main component in the ozone layer. So you may see on the extreme right side of this slide, the ozone molecule is represented here. This ozone molecule is represented by the 3 oxygen atoms which are united together in the form of the molecule. I want to say the chemical formula of the ozone is O3. The chemical formula for the ozone layer, therefore it would be O3. The chemical formula for the ozone gas is O3, and the term ozone is derived from the Greek word ozine, which means to smell, because ozone gas is having the characteristic smell. And it was first discovered in 1839 by the German scientist named Christian Friedrich Scheibel. It is pale blue in color and relatively unstable in the nature. And we can localize the ozone at an altitude of 12 to 30 miles, or in kilometers 19 to 48 above the Earth's surface. So to be very astonishing, we have the 2 different types of the ozones in our atmosphere. One is referred as a good ozone and the second one is bad ozone. The stratospheric ozone is referred as a good ozone. I am talking about the ozone molecule, ozone layer, which is present in the stratosphere part of bioatmosphere. So this ozone is referred as a good ozone because it is capable of absorbing the harmful UV radiations. And you may see how this ozone molecule get generated in the stratosphere. The oxygen molecules, when get exposed to the UV radiation, they undergo splitting up into the oxygen atoms or oxygen free radicals. And if you are aware of the free radicals are highly reactive in nature because they are having the unpaired electrons. So in this reaction, the oxygen free radicals, they are generated, and these oxygen free radicals, they fuse with the oxygen molecule, and they will generate the O3. This O3 is a stratospheric or good ozone. Then likewise we have the ground level or the bad ozone. The ground level or the bad ozone is that ozone which is available in the region of troposphere. It is referred with the name as bad ozone because it is a pollutant, and the high levels, they are very toxic to the living systems. And it is produced in the troposphere due to the combination of the oxygen present in the air with the pollutants in the presence of the UV radiations. It is responsible for the smog formation. We know that smoke is a combination of smoke and fog, and the smoke carry this bad ozone. And this smoke reduces the visibility and is responsible for large number of the accidents during winter when the foggy conditions or smoggy conditions can be there. And smoke is also responsible for induction of a number of respiratory problems in the human beings as well. And primarily the lungs get affected due to the inhalation of the smoke particles. So we are lucky because the amount of smoggy ozone or the bad ozone or the tropospheric ozone is lesser in our atmosphere, whereas the level of the good ozone or the stratospheric ozone is quite higher. So it is a luck factor by chance. We are having the good ozone in more amount, and the bad ozone or the tropospheric ozone in lesser amount. So I have already discussed with you how this good ozone or the stratospheric ozone get formed within the stratosphere. The oxygen molecule get exposed to the UV radiations which are coming from the sun, get splitted up into the oxygen free radicals. These oxygen free radicals are having the unpaired electron. They are quite reactive, and they again collide with the oxygen molecule and forms the ozone. So this is the way how the ozone molecule gets formed in the stratosphere. So before 1970, there is dynamic equilibrium between the creation of the ozone and breakdown of the ozone. That is, more amount of ozone in the stratosphere get formed, whereas less amount of ozone get destructed by natural or anthropogenic activities. And it was a good sign, because our ozone layer in the stratosphere before 1970 was undergo increase in the diameter, increase in the thickening. That is, I want to say, our umbrella cloth is getting thicker. Its screening power is more before 1970. But what is the scenario after 1970? Due to the anthropogenic interference, anthropogenic means human interference, our ozone layer undergo depletion at higher rate in comparison to the rate of its formation. And this is the diagram which is indicating this event. The ozone is generating, but this ozone is forming at quite slow rate, whereas its rate of the breakdown is quite more, and it takes place during 1972 till now. That is, in the current era, the ozone layer is undergoing thinning, which we call with the name as ozone hole or ozone depletion. So this stratospheric ozone layer was discovered in 1913 by the French physicist Fabre and Bison. And it was recognized that this layer is beneficial for the human beings because it is responsible for absorbing approximately 95% of the UV radiations which are liberated from the sun. And the average concentration of the ozone in the stratosphere is about 10 ppm. ppm stands for the parts per million. I want to say there are only 10 molecules of the ozone per million air particles. So the ozone layer absorbs most of the harmful UVB radiations from the sun. And if the ozone depletes, more harmful UVB radiations will reach the earth through the damaged ozone layer and causes the various diseases in the plants, animals, including the human beings. Whereas, if we think about the maintenance of this ozone layer, we have to count for its thickness. We have to think about its thickness. We have to aware about its conservation. So the thickness of the ozone layer is measured in the Dobson units, and 100 Dobson units are equivalent to 1 millimeter. And the global average ozone of 300 Dobson units would be only 3 millimeter if it is compressed to the 1 atmosphere of pressure, which is approximately equivalent to the thickness of the 2 pennies. But in this era, we are facing the ozone depletion because the 3 mm thickening of ozone is now remain only up to 1 mm. I want to say ozone hole is nothing else. Actually, it is a thinning of the ozone layer. And there are a number of factors which are responsible for thinning of this ozone. So there is an instrument which is called as Total Ozone Mapping Spectrometer, or TOMS, which is a satellite-borne instrument, and it was first of all used by the NASA to measure the ozone concentration in the stratosphere. It was launched in the year 1996, and it can make 35 measurements every 8 seconds. So by using the TOMS, by using the ballooning instruments, we are capable to measure the thickness of the ozone. We are capable to analyze the thickness of the ozone from time to time. So with this, I have discussed today the ozone and ozone layer. And if you like this video, kindly click on the other video links shown on the screen. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell icon of Education World to get all the latest notification. And in the next lecture, I will discuss with regard to the ozone hole in detail. Thank you all for your passionate listening and responding.